Sleep is 1/3 of our lives, spent in a world where the laws of reality cease to exist. Here, fears come true, strange images are born, and things happen that are impossible to explain. Many of these phenomena are understood by science, but some remain a mystery. Today's video is a map of these phenomena, from the most familiar superficial experiences to rare and frightening deep states known only to a few. Today, we will descend into this world step by step and see what lurks in the darkness behind our closed eyes. Level 1. Everyday dreams. These are the most common dreams, experienced by the majority of people. There is nothing supernatural or alarming about them, just random images, situations, and events reflecting past experiences, thoughts, or emotions. People have these dreams almost every night, and they are the ones most often forgotten immediately upon waking. Somnambulism, sleepwalking. This is a sleep disorder where a person, during deep sleep, may get out of bed, walk around the room, or even perform simple actions while remaining in an unconscious state. It is most common in children, but sometimes manifests in adults. Sleepwalking looks alarming. The person's eyes may be open, and their movements seem purposeful, but in reality, they are still asleep and not in control. In the morning, people usually remember nothing of what happened. False awakening. This is a state where a person dreams that they have woken up, but in reality, they are still asleep. The surroundings look realistic. The familiar room, usual objects, and even habitual sounds. This is why a false awakening can be confusing and cause anxiety. These dreams are often cyclical. The person wakes up several times in a row only to find themselves still in a dream. Sometimes this turns into a real nightmare, as the feeling of being trapped in endless awakenings becomes terrifying. Regular sleep-wake cycle. A regular sleep-wake cycle is the foundation of healthy rest. It means going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, including weekends. This routine helps synchronize the body's internal biological clock, known as the circadian rhythm. When the schedule is disrupted, sleep quality drops, it becomes harder to fall asleep. Awakenings are frequent and morning fatigue persists. But with a stable schedule, the body begins to prepare for sleep in the evening and wakes up more easily in the morning. Maintaining a regular sleep cycle strengthens immunity, improves mood, helps maintain concentration, and reduces the risk of insomnia and other sleep disorders. Even simple habits, like getting up at the same time without exception, have a noticeable effect on overall well-being. Nightmares. Nightmares are frightening dreams that cause strong negative emotions, fear, anxiety, or despair. Unlike ordinary dreams, nightmares are almost always remembered because fear is what causes the abrupt awakening. The themes of such dreams are similar across different people: falling from heights, being chased, attacked, losing loved ones, or situations where the person is helpless. Nightmares often reflect hidden anxieties, stress, or recent experiences. While not dangerous in themselves, frequent nightmares can indicate psychological issues, chronic stress, or even post-traumatic stress disorder. This is why many cultures have always taken them seriously, seeing them not only as a reflection of the subconscious, but also as warning signs or even the intervention of evil forces. Sleep deprivation. Sleep deprivation is a state where a person does not get enough sleep. The causes are numerous: night shifts, constant stress, illness, or simply a lifestyle where rest is pushed aside. The consequences of sleep deprivation are much more serious than simple fatigue. Concentration is impaired, memory worsens, reaction time slows down, and the ability to make decisions decreases. Even simple daily tasks become harder, and mood becomes unstable. Prolonged sleep deprivation is directly linked to health problems: obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, and weakened immunity. Appearance also suffers. Dark circles appear under the eyes, the face looks tired, and aging processes accelerate. In extreme cases, a person may fall into microsleep, brief, involuntary episodes of falling asleep that occur even during active tasks. This is what makes chronic sleep deprivation particularly dangerous. One can fall asleep while driving or right at work without even realizing it. Jet lag. Jet lag is a temporary sleep disorder that occurs when rapidly changing time zones after a long-distance flight. The body's internal biological clock becomes out of sync with the actual external time. The main symptoms are insomnia, fatigue, irritability, loss of concentration, and even digestive issues. Traveling eastward is generally harder to handle, as internal clocks need to be pushed forward. Western travel is slightly easier because it's simpler for the body to delay the sleep cycle than to accelerate it. The severity and duration of jet lag depend on the number of time zones crossed, the direction of the flight, and individual characteristics. Some adapt in a day or two, while others need more than a week. To alleviate the condition, experts advise adjusting the sleep schedule before the flight, getting more daylight, quickly transitioning to the local sleep and meal schedule, and maintaining hydration during the journey. Dreams of the afterlife. These are experiences where a person dreams of a deceased relative or acquaintance. Such dreams can be particularly vivid and emotional. The person may talk calmly, receive messages from them, or simply feel their presence. The interpretation of such dreams depends heavily on culture and belief. In some traditions, they are considered a way of communicating with spirits, and in others, a symbolic reflection of grief and the psyche's attempt to cope with loss. For many, this brings a feeling of solace or closure. From a psychological perspective, such dreams are a natural element of the grieving process. They help process emotions, memories, and unresolved feelings connected to the person who is gone. Almost always, such dreams leave a profound mark and feel like something more than ordinary dreams. Narcolepsy. Narcolepsy is a chronic neurological disorder involving impaired control of sleep and wakefulness. The main symptom is uncontrollable daytime sleepiness, where a person suddenly falls asleep even if they slept enough at night. These sleep attacks can happen anywhere. Narcolepsy is often accompanied by cataplexy, a sudden loss of muscle tone triggered by strong emotions. For example, a person might literally collapse from laughing or severe fright, remaining conscious but unable to move. Other symptoms include night awakenings, hallucinations while falling asleep, and sleep paralysis. The causes of narcolepsy are not fully understood, but it is believed to be linked to a deficiency of a specific substance responsible for maintaining wakefulness. A complete cure does not yet exist, but its symptoms can be controlled using medications, a strict sleep regimen, short daytime naps, and other techniques. Sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is a disorder in which a person's breathing stops dozens or even hundreds of times during the night. Doctors distinguish two main types: obstructive apnea, where the muscles and throat relax too much and block the airways, and central apnea, where the brain temporarily stops sending signals to the breathing muscles. Externally, this manifests as loud snoring, frequent awakenings, and a feeling of fatigue in the morning. The consequences of apnea can be serious, increasing the risk of hypertension, cardiovascular diseases, and overall weakened health. Methods of treatment depend on the severity. In mild cases, lifestyle changes help. In more severe cases, special devices are used to provide a continuous flow of air during sleep, preventing breathing stoppages. Dreams of falling into the void. These are among the most common and alarming. A person dreams they step forward and suddenly lose their footing, falling into a pit or bottomless darkness. Sometimes the fall is accompanied by a sharp jolt that wakes the person up with a feeling of fear and a racing heart. Psychologists consider such dreams a reflection of anxiety, a feeling of loss of control or instability in life. The void in the dream can symbolize the unknown, fear of the future, or situations where the person feels helpless. Despite often leaving an unpleasant feeling, these dreams serve an important role, helping the psyche express internal experiences and hidden fears. Dreams of flying. Dreams of flying are one of the most widespread and memorable types of dreams. In the dream, a person may feel lightness and freedom, soaring above the earth, flying over familiar places, or even through the sky without any limitations. Such experiences are often associated with positive emotions, joy, delight, and a sense of liberation. From a psychological point of view, such dreams can symbolize the desire to overcome difficulties, break out of the ordinary, or gain control over a situation in life. In some cases, flying appears in people practicing lucid dreaming, as flying is considered one of the easiest ways to experience control over the dream. Night terrors. Night terrors are a sleep disorder where a person abruptly wakes up in a state of extreme fear. Unlike ordinary nightmares, night terrors most often occur during the deep sleep phase and are accompanied by screaming, sudden movements, a rapid heart rate, and sweating. The person may appear awake, but remains disoriented and barely responds to attempts to calm them down. In the morning, they typically remember nothing of the event. Night terrors are more common in children, but are sometimes seen in adults. Despite their frightening nature, this phenomenon usually poses no threat to health and subsides over time. Sleep talking, somniloquy. This is a phenomenon where a person pronounces words, phrases, or even entire dialogues during sleep. This usually happens unconsciously, and the speaker does not remember their words after waking. It is most often observed during light sleep, but can also occur in deeper stages. While the phenomenon itself is harmless, it can be disturbing to others, and is sometimes associated with other sleep disorders, stress, or severe overtiredness. Hypnic jerks. These are sudden, involuntary body twitches that occur at the moment of falling asleep. They are usually accompanied by a sensation of falling or stumbling, causing the person to wake up suddenly. This phenomenon is common and is considered a normal part of the transition from wakefulness to sleep. Scientists link it to the brain being partially active at that moment and mistakenly interpreting muscle relaxation as danger signals. Rapid eye movement, REM, sleep. REM sleep is a special stage of the sleep cycle, during which the brain becomes almost as active as in a waking state. It is during this time that a person has the most vivid and realistic dreams. A characteristic feature of REM sleep is temporary muscle paralysis, which prevents physical movement and thus protects the sleeper from potential injuries. REM sleep plays a key role in processing emotions and consolidating memories. It repeats several times during the night, with the duration of each subsequent REM phase increasing closer to morning. Melatonin. Melatonin is a hormone naturally produced in the brain's pineal gland, that plays a key role in regulating sleep. Today, melatonin is often used as a supplement, taken by people with sleep disorders, those working night shifts, or those dealing with jet lag. Low dosages are usually recommended half an hour to an hour before sleep. The reaction to melatonin varies for everyone, so doctors advise caution when using it. Level 2. Lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming is a state in which a person, while dreaming, realizes they are dreaming. At that moment, they can partially or completely control what is happening, change events, control their own actions, and sometimes even the reality of the dream itself. The sensations are extraordinarily vivid, images seem more saturated, and emotions are stronger than in daily life. Such dreams can be used not only for entertainment. Some people use them to cope with nightmares, overcome fears, or even practice skills that they later apply in real life. Sleep paralysis. This is a state where a person wakes up or falls asleep but remains completely immobilized for a short time. Consciousness is clear, the person knows they are awake, but the body remains paralyzed. This is most often accompanied by an overwhelming feeling of fear. In such moments, many see or hear hallucinations, figures in the room, shadows at the head of the bed, strange sounds, or even the feeling that someone is sitting on their chest and preventing them from breathing. Although sleep paralysis itself is safe and usually lasts only a few seconds or minutes, the experience can be extremely frightening. Parasomnia. Parasomnia is a general term for a whole group of sleep disorders in which a person performs unusual actions in a state of partial arousal. Externally, the person may appear awake. They walk, talk, sometimes even eat or perform simple habitual movements, but in reality, their brain remains in a state of sleep. Parasomnias include sleepwalking, sleep-talking, and night terrors. They are more common in children but can also manifest in adults. In some cases, they can pose a danger. For example, if the person leaves the house or encounters obstacles while asleep. Minecraft dreams. Minecraft dreams are a relatively new phenomenon associated with the game's popularity. A person spends a lot of time playing, and the brain continues to reproduce familiar images in the dream state. As a result, the dream turns into an imitation of the game process. The dreamer seems to be digging blocks, building houses, or fighting mobs in the cubic world. This phenomenon is similar to the so-called Tetris effect. Some players even report feeling like they lived in Minecraft in their sleep, continuing the game, but without the possibility of quitting by pressing a button. Somniphobia, fear of sleep. This is a specific form of phobia in which a person experiences panic terror at the very act of falling asleep. People with this disorder may postpone sleep until the last moment, afraid of what will happen when they fall asleep. The causes vary: recurrent nightmares, past episodes of sleep paralysis, or a general anxiety disorder. The fear is often so strong that the person consciously deprives themselves of sleep, which only exacerbates the problem. Although this condition is not widespread, it is considered one of the most severe sleep-related phobias. Freddy Krueger dreams. These are directly related to the influence of the A Nightmare on Elm Street film series. The main antagonist, Freddy, hunts his victims in their dreams. In the dream, Krueger may appear as a real adversary. He attacks, frightens, or tries to kill, and all this is accompanied by a vivid sense of horror and helplessness. Such nightmares are especially intense because the character himself is built on the idea of unsafe sleep. Rett syndrome. Rett syndrome is a rare genetic disorder of the nervous system that almost exclusively affects girls. In early childhood, the child develops normally, but then, around 1 to 2 years old, there's an abrupt loss of acquired skills. Speech abilities disappear, coordination of movements is impaired, and stereotypical gestures appear. Sufferers often experience serious sleep disturbances, insomnia, frequent night awakenings, and apnea. The disease remains incurable, and scientists are still searching for therapies. Dreams with mirrors. Dreams with mirrors are considered some of the most symbolic and alarming. When a person sees their reflection in a dream, it is often linked to a subconscious desire for self-knowledge or internal self-assessment. The reflection may be clear and familiar, or it may be distorted, frightening, or entirely alien. Such dreams often reflect the perception of one's own personality and self-esteem. Mirror dreams are found in many cultures and mythologies. The mirror is traditionally considered a conductor to other worlds or a symbol of contact with the subconscious. Out-of-body experiences, OBEs. This is a state in which a person feels as if their consciousness is leaving their body. Most often, they see themselves from the outside, as if floating above their own bed, observing their body, or even moving through space. Such sensations can arise in sleep, at the moment of falling asleep, during sleep paralysis, or severe stress. The scientific explanation comes down to the peculiarities of brain function, a disruption of the perception of the body and space in transitional states of consciousness. Alien abduction dreams. These are one of the most vivid and disturbing types of dreams. People who have them describe similar elements: bright light, a feeling of paralysis, the appearance of strange beings, most often the so-called greys with large eyes, and a feeling of complete helplessness. Such dreams can be extremely realistic and accompanied by strong emotions, from horror to a sense of lost control. Scientists explain these dreams as a combination of sleep paralysis, nocturnal hallucinations, and the influence of mass culture. The Sandman. The Sandman is a character from European folklore associated with sleep. According to the legend, he comes at night and sprinkles magic sand or dust into the eyes of children, causing them to fall asleep and see dreams. In different versions of the tales, the image can be both benevolent and frightening if the child doesn't want to go to bed. In 19th and 20th century culture, the Sandman became entrenched as a symbol of sleep and dreams. Sleep in a coma. Sleep in a coma is not exactly sleep in the conventional sense, but a state of profound loss of consciousness caused by severe trauma, illness, or brain damage. A person in a coma does not respond to external stimuli and cannot wake up on their own volition. Unlike ordinary sleep, they lack the typical sleep-dream cycle and wakefulness. The duration of a coma can vary from a few days to many years. Although scientifically a coma is not sleep, in culture, it is often compared to an endless sleep. Dreams of pyramids and ancient ruins. These dreams are often filled with symbolism. Pyramids in a dream can be perceived as an image of strength and eternity. Ancient ruins, conversely, symbolize destruction and the past. In psychology, such images are seen as the work of the subconscious, which uses symbols to express internal experiences, a striving for order, a search for meaning, or an awareness of one's own fragility. Rebound dreams. During withdrawal, your tolerance breaks. These are most often mentioned in the context of cannabis and other substances that suppress the REM sleep phase. If a person takes a break, the brain seems to compensate for the missed time. The REM phase sharply intensifies, and the person begins to see extraordinarily vivid, prolonged and realistic dreams. This is called the REM rebound effect. Such dreams can be colorful and fantastical, but they often become anxious or frightening due to their intensity. Level 3. Technology almost never works in dreams. Many people have noticed that in dreams, familiar technology almost never functions as it does in reality. Phones don't catch a signal. Screens don't turn on. Computers freeze. And text or numbers on displays are impossible to read. Psychologists explain this by the peculiarities of how the brain works during sleep. The areas responsible for processing complex information and logic are less active. Therefore, technology, a symbol of the rational and controlled, breaks down in dreams. Exploding head syndrome. This is a rare and poorly understood sleep disorder. A person feels as if at the moment of falling asleep or waking up, they hear a sudden, loud sound, an explosion, a bang, a shot, or a strong impact. In reality, there is no external sound. Everything occurs exclusively within the brain's perception. Scientists suggest the syndrome is related to a sharp reboot of nervous processes in the brain during the transition between sleep phases. Despite the ominous name, exploding head syndrome does not carry a fatal danger. Hypnopompic hallucinations. This is a specific type of perceptual disturbance that arises at the moment of waking up, when a person is between sleep and wakefulness. At this time, vivid visual images may appear, and sometimes auditory or tactile sensations that seem absolutely real. These experiences are often accompanied by sleep paralysis, which makes them especially frightening. The person is already aware of what is happening, but cannot move. The shadow person, gray man. This is an image that often appears during sleep paralysis. People who have experienced this state describe seeing a tall, dark silhouette standing near the bed. Its features are usually indistinguishable. It's just a faceless figure, as if woven from shadow. This vision is accompanied by intense fear and a feeling of threat. In rare cases, the shadow person may move, lean over the sleeper, or even sit on their chest, causing a choking sensation. The Randy Gardner experiment. Randy Gardner is an American who went down in history as the record holder for the longest deliberate sleep deprivation. In 1963, when he was only 17, he decided to test the limits of human capability. The experiment lasted 11 days and 25 minutes, a total of 264 hours without sleep. The experiment was overseen by specialists, including Dr. William Dement, a renowned sleep researcher from Stanford. Over the 11 days, the teenager developed serious cognitive impairments, memory loss, loss of concentration, emotional swings, paranoid thoughts, and hallucinations. Fatal insomnia. This is one of the rarest and most mysterious diseases known to medicine, a prion neurodegenerative disease that is incurable and fatal. The person gradually loses the ability to sleep. In the vast majority of cases, this refers to the hereditary form, fatal familial insomnia, FFI. In the late 1990s, scientists managed to identify the cause, a mutation in a gene that causes a normal protein to convert into a prion, destroying the thalamus, the part of the brain responsible for sleep. The disease progresses through 4 stages, leading to a complete inability to sleep, loss of speech, and total detachment from the surrounding world. To this day, the disease is incurable. Kleine-Levin syndrome, KLS, also known as Sleeping Beauty syndrome. This is a rare and mysterious disease primarily affecting adolescents. Its main symptom is recurrent episodes of excessive sleepiness, where a person can sleep for 18-20 hours a day. During an exacerbation, patients not only barely wake up, but also exhibit perceptual disturbances, confusion, sharp mood swings, increased appetite, and even hypersexuality. The causes of the syndrome are not fully understood, but it is believed to be related to dysfunctions of the hypothalamus. Nicotine patch dreams. These are a well-documented side effect of using smoking cessation aids. Many people report that during nicotine patch therapy, their dreams become extraordinarily vivid, prolonged, and memorable. The reason is that nicotine affects the central nervous system and alters the structure of sleep, especially the REM phase, causing the brain to generate more intense and saturated images. Level 4. Sexsomnia. This is a rare parasomnia where a sleeping person, in a state of partial arousal from deep sleep, performs sexual acts. The sleeper may have open eyes and make sounds but is unaware of what is happening and remembers nothing. It is about 3 times more common in men. The causes may include other parasomnias, and triggers include sleep deprivation, alcohol, stress, and depression. Sudden, unexpected nocturnal death syndrome, SUNDS. In the early 1980s, American doctors noted dozens of cases of young, healthy men going to sleep and never waking up among refugees from Southeast Asia. Local legends blamed evil spirits or fatal nightmares. In 1986, Dr. Pedro Brugada identified a specific heart rhythm abnormality in patients, eventually naming it Brugada syndrome. The cause was found to be a mutation in the SCN5A gene, responsible for the function of sodium channels in heart cells, leading to life-threatening arrhythmias during sleep. The only proven way to prevent a fatal outcome is the implantation of a cardioverter defibrillator. Catathrenia. This is a sleep disorder in which a person makes unusual, low, drawn-out groaning sounds while asleep. The sounds primarily occur during exhalation, distinguishing it from ordinary snoring. Catathrenia usually occurs during the REM sleep phase. The sleeper is not the one who suffers, but those around them, as the sounds can be eerie. It is a rare and harmless sleep disorder, a strange but safe glitch in the sleep mechanism. Sleep inertia. This is a short episode of confused awakening after emerging from deep sleep. The person is partially awake but disoriented, speaking nonsensically, and may be irritable or impulsive. The state passes after 1 to 5 minutes, usually with amnesia. The mechanism is asynchronous brain awakening, increasing sleep inertia. The likelihood increases sharply with sleep deprivation and chronic stress. Sleep texting. Sometimes people, hearing a notification on their phone in a half-sleep state, automatically reply to messages. This effect occurs because parts of the brain are in a waking state, while others continue to sleep. The person types incoherent text but does not remember it in the morning. Bruxism, nocturnal teeth grinding. Some people unconsciously clench or grind their teeth during sleep. Nocturnal bruxism can lead to enamel damage, headaches, and jaw muscle pain. Many people are unaware of it until a dentist or bed partner notices. Bruxism can be triggered by stress, genetics, caffeine, and alcohol. Hypnic headache. This is a rare sleep syndrome where a sudden, dull, or pulsating pain wakes a person almost every night, often at the same time. A characteristic feature is that these headaches do not occur during the day. They only arise from sleep and specifically wake the person up. The probable mechanism is a malfunction in the hypothalamus, the node of our circadian clock, causing the internal alarm to trigger pain on schedule. Nocturnal painful erections. Medical reviews describe a rare syndrome of painful erections during sleep. A man wakes up from an erection accompanied by pain, although daytime erections proceed without discomfort. This is considered a REM parasomnia. Treatment has not been developed, and research is scarce. Restless legs syndrome, RLS. In this syndrome, there is an irresistible urge to move the legs, accompanied by unpleasant sensations, crawling, burning, pulling pain, intensified at rest and at night. Movement temporarily relieves the discomfort, but falling asleep becomes torturous. Paradoxical insomnia. This is a sleep perception disorder. The person is convinced they hardly slept, although objectively their sleep is close to normal. The brain continues to register body signals in the stream of thoughts, labeling them as wakefulness, even when other indicators point to sleep. This is not simulation, but a state mapping failure. The real sleep is there, but subjectively it is not. The person feels a persistent did not sleep at all, fatigue and anxiety,